Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So really quick, I just want to say thank you to everyone for the continued support. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and that means a lot. Actually, when I hit 1,000, I'll do some kind of random giveaway to show my appreciation for these support. So keep an eye out for that. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway. Don't know what I'll give away exactly, but I will for sure do a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So if you've been keeping up with the content, you know that the engine or the motor transmission is out of the Evo 10. And before the motor let go, I had every intention of upgrading the clutch master cylinder. So what better time than now to go ahead and replace that clutch master cylinder, since I have a ton of room. I can actually climb in the engine bay if I want to. Still gonna take a bit of work, but it's probably still a good idea to go ahead and do it now. So if you don't know, the factory one on the Evo 10 is made of plastic. MA Performance sells an upgrade kit, which I believe is just the OEM like Evo 9 master cylinder, which is aluminum. So we're gonna be replacing that. Comes with the clutch, our stainless steel braided clutch line. And I guess this is the mounting plate as well. So all of that will be getting replaced, and from what I saw, it requires a little bit of work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the camera on the tripod. First thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and remove the brake master cylinder here and also the brake booster. So wish me luck, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the clutch master cylinder has been removed. As you can see, right next to where the brake booster would be, there is another hole. So when I took it out, I had to disconnect the hard line from the chassis. I had to remove that. Then I was able to actually remove the clutch master cylinder from the car itself. I had to kind of like twist it and turn it. As I did it, I had to remove it from the clutch pedal as well. This part is the part that was connected to the clutch pedal. Had to remove that, and as I did that, the whole thing kind of fell apart, but which I don't really care because I'm upgrading it anyway. So now the fun part begins. I get to go ahead and grind off the tabs or whatever. I don't know what those things are called, but I have to grind off part of the firewall to install the new upgraded master cylinder. So in order to install the new master cylinder, I have to grind off this tab here, and then diagonally or right across from it, right here, I have to grind off that one as well. Okay, so to grind off the tabs, I picked up a die grinder from Harbor Freight. I think it was about 35 bucks roughly. It's an electric one, as I don't have an air compressor. Hopefully this does the trick. I picked up some bits as well. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out and move on to actually installing the new master cylinder.
3 days later.
All right, it's official. I have given up on installing this clutch master cylinder upgrade from MA Performance. I've given up for two reasons. Trying to use that die grinder I picked up from Harbor Freight is just, it's not working out. I feel like if I had the proper tools, it would have been a lot easier to get this completed. So if you can see here, I don't know if it's too dark, but if you can see back there, I actually grinded off one right here. I grinded off one. And I got that stud removed, and that one was cool. It actually, well, I'm not gonna say it was cool because it actually still sucked to do that. And then I started to do the other one, and then I kept breaking those grinding tools that I was using to grind off that stud. So after that last one, I just had it. That was my last straw, and I was like, yep, I'm done. I feel like if I had an air compressor and like the proper tools, it would have been much easier to do. And reason number two as to why I actually gave up is because MA Performance actually makes what they call a quick click upgrade for the master cylinder, which it actually sits pretty close to how the OEM one does. and I actually went ahead and ordered that. This one actually doesn't require grinding off the tabs on the firewall. So yeah, I just have to wait for that one to come in. I think it's gonna take like 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. I think they have to like assemble it or something, I don't know. So instead of me actually finishing up this upgrade now, since I have to wait on the new parts, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and show you guys the parts that I have picked up so far for the resurrection of the Evo 10. So they've kind of just been like piling up here in the garage, so I can't even park the STI here anymore. On the crate, the block came. It came actually a couple weeks ago. I already unboxed it and it looks great. It looks clean. I kind of recovered it up with some plastic just so that way it doesn't get too dirty. But I'm still, before assembly, before I start throwing everything together, I'm gonna go through and re-clean everything just to make sure everything is, you know, everything is good to go before it goes in the car. I don't want any accidents. I don't want to have to pull it back out. So if you've been following the build, the head that I picked up, I actually took it to the machine shop to have it resurfaced. I found one on eBay, picked it up, and it actually came with a metal valve cover, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. I'm gonna have to clean this up and decide what color I want to paint it, because I definitely want to paint it. But about the head, so I dropped it off at the machine shop. So I bought all new valves. I bought all new GSC valves, valve stem seals. I just went with the standard size. I didn't go 1 millimeter over or anything like that. And I dropped those off to the machine shop already. So hopefully by next week, middle of next week, I should get the head back and it should be good to go. So I got all new transmission fluid. I actually replaced the transmission fluid when I did the clutch before the engine decided to let go. But instead of reusing that fluid, I actually went ahead and bought some more. Do need to get a quart of fluid for the transfer case still though. I had to replace the coupler because the coupler kind of separated. We're starting to separate, so I went ahead and replaced the coupler that goes to the throttle body. Picked up a new monolock. Again, I just replaced this when I did the clutch, but when I was disconnecting the throwout bearing, I was kind of rough with it. Rather than me put everything back together and then the monolock collar like break or fail on me, I just went ahead and bought another one of those. Same thing with the throwout bearing. I went ahead and picked up an OEM one. MA Performance, they sell a heat shield for the cam angle sensor, I believe it is, or the cam sensor, so I went ahead and picked one of those up. So I also picked up a 22 PSI wastegate to go along with the upgraded turbo that I picked up from Chris Robbins at Turbos RS. Still waiting for that to come in. As I showed before, I picked up some FIC 1440cc injectors. These are brand new. Already sold my ID 1050s that I picked up. Also picked up an OEM brand new oil pump. Definitely didn't want to reuse the old one. Anytime you have catastrophic failure, there are several components of the engine that just about anyone will recommend you replace, and this is one of them. Brand new OEM timing chain guides. This is the oil pump chain guide. This is, I believe, yeah, this is the timing chain. And this one here is the oil pump chain. Brand new OEM, straight from Mitsubishi oil pan. Again, this is one of those things that you want to replace once you have catastrophic failure. Picked up some ARP head studs. Brand new from Mitsubishi, the timing chain tensioner. Also from Mitsubishi, I picked up the OEM, like the master gasket kit. So this should have everything, including the head gasket. So I'm going to be using the OEM head gasket. It's got, I believe, the front and rear main seal. Everything you need to reassemble the motor. I decided to replace the water pump as well. Again, it's probably just a lot easier to do outside the car. And this one, I decided not to go with the OEM one. I went with Gates. I've used Gates products in the past, like their timing belts on some of my old builds back in the day. I never had any issues with Gates products, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It's the entire water pump, including the rear housing. Quality looks good as well. Also comes with replacement gaskets, which is cool. Oh, side note, if anybody wants to pick this up, I will give you a good deal on it. Hit me up on Instagram. Shoot me a DM and I'll sell this to you for dirt cheap. I think brand new is $245 before shipping, and I will let it go for $150 bucks. I also picked up an aftermarket manifold. Don't shame me for it, but I definitely went eBay on it. Could I have picked up one from MA Performance or Full Race or whatever? Definitely. I figured just about anything is probably better than OEM. Hopefully this one holds up. It was probably more than an eBay manifold probably should be, but the welds look decent overall. And all right, let me pull it out of the box. overall, I think it looks pretty decent, like overall. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But it should 100% get the job done. It should be a lot better than the OEM one since those cracks. And like I mentioned earlier, the block did come and it looks great. Great. It is immaculate. It looks so clean and I'm super excited to get this put together and put in the car. If you follow me on Instagram, you already saw a sneak peek of the block, so. But if you can see that, like it says MA Performance on the top of the pistons. I thought that was pretty cool. The machine work looks great, looks top quality, looks immaculate, so super excited to get this put in the car. All right, so in the block we have, it says Sanes. I've actually never heard of Sanes, but apparently they do good work or they make good products. But Sanes H-beam rods, has Wiseco 9-3-1 compression pistons, has ACL bearings, both main and rod. The block and the crank are supposed to both be brand new. The block looks pretty clean. It looks pretty brand new to me. And like I said, the quality is great. It looks pretty good. Another part that is recommended that you change when you have catastrophic failure is the oil cooler. And I am actually gonna go ahead and buy a new oil cooler as well. A new OEM oil cooler is super expensive, so I don't really see any reason to just buy an OEM one. I am gonna buy an aftermarket one. And I believe Mishimoto, they make like a dual oil cooler setup. And I may actually order that later today, but that is probably the next part that I'm going to order. I still have to take a couple things off of the motor, like a couple sensors. As you can see, we actually took a couple of the pistons out and look at that, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But we have a built block now, so things are slowly but surely coming together for the Evo 10 build. I'm pretty set on getting tuned by Chag, so I think that's the route I'm gonna go. But I'm pretty much gonna go ahead and end the video here. I really appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you stay up to date with the Evo build. I need to do some things to the STI as well. Thanks for checking out the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.